Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Susan, and thank you for tuning in to Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh alongside Ron Cook. You'll hear from him in just moments, and we're talking about the battle in Buccos. Looks like they're going to pull another one out here. This one, a big one in St. Louis. They're a game behind St. Louis. They're up 8-5. Cervelli with a huge hit when the game was tied. Actually, Gregory Polanco had another big game. Well, not another. His last big game run was like a few months ago.
Lifetime ago.
But he has three hits tonight. He's looking pretty good. Drove in a couple runs. And, you know, we all question why. I think a lot of us question why he was even in the lineup today. And
yeah, Meadows sat today. Josh Bell hits a home run. The thing that impressed me tonight, Rich, Trevor Williams is pitching down 4-0 after one inning, and they battled back to tie it. Now, after 7 innings, they're down 5-4. They score 4 in the 8th. Polanco, as you said, on a big night tonight, another big hit, and then Cervelli, a 3-2 pitch home run to left field with 2 outs. Just got over the wall, but doesn't matter how far over the wall it did. They're 8-5, bottom of the 8th. Haven't wrapped it up yet, but this would be one nice win after another, considering the one they got last night against Chicago.
If you could pick one guy on this team right now, Cervelli would be the guy that I'd want up at the plate in a situation where they needed a hit.
And they had a real scary moment with him earlier in the game. He got hit in the wrist here, and he threw his stuff down. I think he thought he was really hurt. He was able to stay in the game. It looked really bad when he got hit right in the wrist up here in this part of the arm. And you knew he was in pain because he was really disgusted. But he stayed in, and now look what happened. Hits a home run, which should win it.
Yeah, they should win it. Back to Trevor Williams, though. Another bad start of a game.
2 in a row.
This is 2 in a row. And if you go back, I was looking up some of his stats. If you go back his last 6 starts, including tonight, 20 earned runs. You know,
well, tonight he gives up 5. So I thought the last 2 have been tonight and last time not good. Before that, I don't think he had one bad start. He's been their best pitcher to me. Now you got Musgrove really coming on, which is great. You know, you need to get Williams back to where he was, but he hung in there after the first inning. Only gave up the 5th run in the 6th or 7th. But I'm not worried about him so much. I'm worried about Tyone needs to get it going. Nova needs to get it going.
Yeah, and pitching has been a problem, especially the bullpen with this team. Offense hasn't. I looked up those stats just, you know, recently. Today I looked up, and the Pirates are 4th in the National League in offense. A few weeks ago they were 2nd, but they didn't really drop that far off the pace. And this is an offense that can score. They showed it again tonight.
Right.
It's a team that can score runs. You just got to hope that the pitching is there every night.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight it really wasn't, but Williams did keep him in the game. They gave him a chance to come back 4-4, gave up the run 5-4, and then the bats took over in the 8th inning. Good for them. Polanco was great tonight to see him do something. And Josh Bell, to me, frankly, has been a major disappointment. He hits a big home run tonight. And then Cervelli hits a 3-run home run. Nothing quite like 3-run home runs, I'll tell you that.
No, and think about this. Bell is your number 4 hitter, your cleanup hitter, but he's the guy with only 4 home runs. This is only his 4th home run. He's the guy that's supposed to be hitting a lot over the fence.
Absolutely.
And he hasn't.
Well, tonight he hit a big one.
Yeah, he did. And you know, I like the lineup. I like the fact that they're doing this without Meadows in there. You know, you do have to wonder what's going to happen with Trevor Williams. If this is becoming a trend with these slow starts, I hope it's not. Maybe it's just, you know, something.
You know, he's still a young guy learning his craft. Everybody wants it to go straight up like this, but sometimes there's dips and curves.
Yeah, and that's what's happening right now. So I don't think I'm too worried. He was good at the end of the year last year. He was good at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think he's been their best pitcher.
Dip. So, yeah, I thought he was their best pitcher.
I mean, other than Musgrove's last 2 starts.
You know, Kingham was good there for his first 2 starts. These guys all, I don't know what you think, but I think all these guys are relatively the same. You know, and like who's the best, maybe it changes. Yep. They're all like the same guy. Are they a 2 guy, a 3 guy, but they're all pretty much, maybe Musgrove can be that ace that we're talking about. We thought Tyone, maybe he still may be. Yeah.
He's been a major disappointment for me.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I have no idea. I expected so much more for him. I expected more from Nova, not as much from Nova as Tyone. Tyone just has not got. Now his last start wasn't terrible. Hopefully he'll be able to build on it.
Do you think it's anything carrying over from last year?
I don't. I mean, I think he's fine physically. Again, they don't always go straight up.
What about the pressure of being the guy?
Maybe. We'll see. But, I mean, the way Musgrove's going, the way Kingham's going, maybe he doesn't have to be the guy. Cole has been better as of late.
Yeah. All right, well, we got to take a break. Back with your phone calls, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas hotline, or you can tweet me, @Rich Walsh, back in a couple minutes.